Over 400,000 real estate agents leaving the business. What are you going to do with your business? Welcome to today's morning meeting. I'm Greg Luther, the one guy that meets with you every single week to help you in growing your real estate business. This is something we've always dreamed of. We've really always hoped that we could get rid of a lot of the competition, especially that lower end that's sometimes a little more difficult to deal with, or you've got to baby them through the transactions. Today, I want to talk a little bit about that because we're certainly seeing a mass exodus from real estate, which I think is good for the industry. I think it's going to help us as a whole. It's going to help the sellers, the buyers, essentially just kind of raise the bar, raise the level of the service and the quality of service that we're able to provide for all of the consumers out there. So the reason this is important for you as an agent is I see it as an opportunity. Obviously, that means even if people are licensed, they're not practicing. So, this whole thing about how many are really licensed, how many are going to be turning in their license, how many won't renew as dues come up, because they're coming up here in a couple of weeks, how many are not going to renew, all of those things. Look, even if they have a license, it doesn't mean they're doing anything. That world's shrinking up a little bit for us now. The opportunities are certainly there. Now, I hear agents say all the time, oh, that's good. Get rid of them. That's more business for us. They're not doing business. That's giving you no more business. That has nothing to do with you're going to get more. You're not taking any from them. They weren't getting any. But I want you to start thinking about what 2025 looks like for you and how your marketing agenda is going to generate the kind of business you need. We're certainly seeing the market is turning around. The good news is people are starting to sell. People are starting to buy. We're seeing more inventory, nowhere near what we need to have, but it's heading in the right direction. October had more closings than September. November had more closings than October. So we're seeing this upward trend, and that's a very good thing for us as real estate agents. I think a lot of people did not weather the storm, and now that storm is starting to dissipate, we're standing out in the sunshine and we're able to make a lot of money. I've had 3 agents already this week tell me they're busier than they've been in years since prior to COVID. That's what we want to see. Well, look, that's only happening if you're beating obscurity. Your number one competitor is not other agents that are closing no business. Your number one competitor is not the MLS bragging about the fact that they have 7,000 members in your area. So being a member doesn't mean they're doing anything. Your competitor is not other agents. Your competitor is obscurity. The reason people aren't using you is because they don't know you exist or they don't know what it is that you offer as a real estate agent. If you can beat obscurity, you can earn as much as you want to earn in 2025. Now that we're seeing the market starting to come back, and I just finished the newsletter. Those of you that are Inner Circle members with us, watch your mailbox. You're going to be getting that newsletter here in a couple of days. And one of the articles I wrote in there was talking about where the market's going, the projections and the trajectory that we're starting to see, and more importantly, my prediction on what's going to happen. And I got to tell you, if we get mortgage rates with anything beginning with a 5, the market will be crazy hot again. There's not going to be an adjustment. There's not going to be a 20% drop. There's going to be no crash. That's not going to happen. We can certainly see that's not the case. They did everything they could to try and make it crash. It certainly got to the point there was literally nobody willing to move. But it didn't change prices that much. Minute amount, which is good. I'd love to see a 10% correction. But we're not going to see that crash. And I believe if we get mortgage rates with anything that starts with a 5, everybody's going to come out of their shell. Now, the advantage is there's been a lot of people holding back, right? So over the past 2 years, really 2.5 years, there's been a lot of people that want to move. It just didn't make sense. They want to move. They just couldn't find anything because there was no inventory available. They want to move, but it's going to triple their mortgage rate or their mortgage amount because the interest rate is so high. As that starts to dissipate, you're going to see all these people that have been holding back taking off and doing a lot of business all at once. That's a good opportunity for you. Don't think that that's buyers. That's buyers and sellers. A whole lot of these people have a home they'll need to sell. So if they decide they're going to move up in price, you get to list that middle of the road home and sell them a luxury home. How many of those are you putting out? What kind of marketing are you putting out to those folks to build your list, to get that sphere of influence as big as you can get it and continuously cultivate that list? I love the fact that the onesie twosies out there, the people that are cutting hair for a living, but sometimes swipe 3 or 4 deals a year, those are going to be gone. You know why? Because in 2023 and 2024, they cut hair for a living, but they didn't get 3 or 4 deals. So since they did not get those customer, just so many people closing, they end up with 3 or 4 clients that buy a house and buy it with them. Since they didn't get that, it doesn't make financial sense for them to keep their real estate license. That is the shaving off of the market, those 3, 4, 5 deals times hundreds of people in your area. That's starting to go away. So I think it allows for the professionals that are, and everybody does a good job. I'm not saying anybody that cuts hair and is a real estate agent, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think those that do this full time really put all of their effort every single day, every waking moment we're alive, we're a real estate agent. Those are the agents, the professionals, the full-time professionals that are going to do well. And I think this is going to step up the bar for us. What percentage of real estate agents do you think will not renew rolling into the new year? What percentage of real estate agents nationwide will not renew going into next year? Let me know in the comments right here what you think, what percentage that will be. The reason this came about is many of you know I just did a big thing for Black Friday. I did a Black Friday training. And one of the questions I asked my list, my opt-ins, the real estate agents that have seen my stuff, they opted in with me and they said, Greg, give me more training. So if you've been on some of our videos and stuff, you've seen I talk about gregsprioritylist.com. If you go to gregsprioritylist.com, that just gets you on my list so I can email you with new tools, new trainings, whatever we have going on. Well, that list is a couple 100,000 real estate agents. They've all opted in with me. They found me and wanted more information. So I've built that over the course of 25, almost 26 years. Obviously, it's ever changing. People retire, people pass away, people get out of the business, all of that. But it's always growing as well. It's always gotten bigger every single month. Our list has gotten bigger of the agents that I'm helping nationwide. Well, what we did is on this Black Friday training, I just asked a simple question. Hey, if you're no longer in the business or you're planning to quit at the end of the year when your dues come up, please just reply back and let me know. You would be shocked at the percentage of agents nationwide that they've never worked with me. They've just followed my stuff. They've never given me $1. They've never been through any of my coaching. They've just been through some of the free training stuff, but they're not in the business. And as a matter of fact, some of them said, I've been gone for over a year. Thanks so much for cleaning this out. Because what I'm doing is I'm cleaning my email list. If I can't help you to grow your business, let's not talk. Like, don't waste your time on my videos. Don't let me email you. It's if I'm not going to help you in making more money, let's just not. So it was able to help me in cleaning up my list, but I was shocked how many agents, I gave the percentage to a couple of the brokers that I work with, and they said, Greg, that's nothing. Your people must be doing pretty daggone good. Our numbers are a lot higher than that. So I think it's a great opportunity, and you can kind of see here in the chat, everybody talking about what percentage of people are probably going to leave. I think we're already past 20%. Now, NAR will not release their numbers. We know why. They've released it every single year since the 1960s. Now, all of a sudden, they don't. We know why that is. And frankly, I think NAR has an awful lot of problems they'll need to deal with. And as I've said many times, they're not going to be around in 2 years. They're not going to be able to handle the expenses that they now have. Should have handled their business much differently. We're not going to get sidetracked on that today. I could spend 2 hours talking about all the stuff that they've done wrong. However, the number of people that are leaving should be looked at as an opportunity for you for several reasons. I talked about in the newsletter that you'll be getting here in a couple of days, those of you that are coaching members with us. The orphan clients that you should be picking up. There's a lot of agents that are either retiring or quitting or whatever the case is. Those are orphan clients. All of their past clients, nobody's going to be marketing to them. Why wouldn't you pick them up? Why wouldn't you try and work out a letter of introduction to have that agent introduce you to those people? There's so many things you can do for you to start gobbling up this business.